Again, welcome back to Weekend Up Earnings for Edge YouTube channel. So today we're back at the truck. Last time we left off, we're doing some door stuff, and anyway, now it's time to move back onto the steering column. So I got this steering column here. So this is not what I wanted to use. I wanted to use one of an old van with the key in the ignition, or the key in the dash, and you know, not in the shift on the floor, which is kind of hard to get. But this column here, this is out of if you remember the car back in the day, it was a two-tone green 79 Firebird, which I owned when I was 19. And we stripped the car, and somehow it ended up he moved around. I still got it for some reason. I don't know how I still ended up with it, but anyway, yeah. So anyway, the thing is, I had this, and I didn't have to buy it, and we're going to see if we can make it work in the truck. Do a little overview. So it obviously has the single light lever here, high and low beam is here. So we look at that moves. So that's a dimmer switch, and actually it's the same connector as if you use a dimmer switch on the floor or on the column. So if you didn't want to use that and want to put the one on the floor, you could run the wires that, or on the wires up to it from there. So the ignition switch is this one here, plugs into it, and this is all of the wires for your turn signals and your I guess your high-low beam. No, sorry, your high-low beam is over here. Your turn signals, your horn, and your emergency flashers are all on this one here. Yeah, let's draw on that one. So anyway, the column is pretty small down around here, which is what I wanted. It's a bit bigger up here in this bracket here, what we can use. But as for now, what I plan on doing is, if you looked at the Firebird back in the day, this piece here moves up and down. This is how you done the neutral safety switch. It was bolted on here, and I took it off last night. But the neutral safety switch bolts on here, and when you turn the key and you actually move the gear selector, you can see it actually moved a switch here, went into the hole, and it told it was in park or neutral for starting it. But anyway, that's going to be used on the neutral safety switch on this, and on the computer is on the side of the transmission. So we don't need that. So right now we're just going to trim this off here, take this bottom plate off, so we're left with a pretty straight column here up to this length. So we'll do that next, and we start getting ready to get it in the truck. Okay, so get the piece off. We just sliced it. There's a couple of tack welds here. I just ground them out down behind it. So that piece is gone. Neutral safety lever, where that would have went, that's gone. So looks a little bit cleaner already. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to actually measure this and see if we can get a hole saw. That one there, it's not going to be big enough. So I'll see what size hole saw is, and I'll take the hood off the truck and see can we get an angle or a line, see where we can see where we're going to put it to. So again, if you remember, when we put the brake booster on and the master cylinder on, we were trying to figure out where to put the piece inside, so we actually just slid this piece of metal down in her, and we came up and we marked where it was going to be in the firewall. And anyway, seems like it's between these two holes, but we already had it marked. You can see it when we done. So we know that's where the steering column would like to go through. So anyway, I'm going to get a hole through there now, and that should be a spot where we put the column out through. So I'll probably drill a pilot hole in because I got the mark there, and then we'll probably either, well, go, it's probably easier to drill out, considering you know, it's only right there. It looks things in the holes. Column should go down around there somewhere. So hopefully it'll leave a bit of room there between the brake pedal. Alright, so do it next. Okay, so we got the hole, and I use the steering shaft out there. So we'll see if we can fit the column through there and lift her up in place, and see what we gotta do around this area, move this over here, bend it, whatever the deal is. Let's get the column next. Okay, so we just put the column through a hole in the firewall. Excuse me. And as we pick it up, see your problem already. Pick it up, and not so much that it hits there, but if you look down top, is that the ignition switch, which is on top, is directly in line with the brake pedal. So, still see if I can use it, but anyway, like time comes, maybe I'll take this off, put the old key in the dash or something, right? Okay, I'm gonna screw this now. Like I said, we're just trying to fit it in there first, and take the ignition switch off it, and anyway, may move this bracket off it too, just to get everything lined up to where we're going to put it to. Yeah, so we're back down beyond the house. I'm gonna look around. So winter arrived down like the second week of January, and it's probably going to be leaving by the 4th week, surprisingly. Weather calls for 55 to 65 mils of rain, so we'll peek at the more how fast that goes. But yep, argan, no, it's mostly argan except the extra stuff we piled up. Have a look at tomorrow and see. But anyway, back in the garage. See the snow on the sled. Daughter had the sled out this morning. And she got on morning anyway. She had it back. She had work this evening. So okay, so it's next night, and go down that again. Do a change of plans. So we had the steering column. We put it up right here where he figures it's got to go, and you know, I mean, for her steering wheel and stuff. The center, it's the center pretty well right over where the speedometer would have been at the time. And with the wheel on, you got a bit of room here for the single light lever in the door. But when we put it down to the hole, which we lined up, you see it's going down there on the left. It goes to the left. So when it comes out here, with the steering shaft, it's doesn't really, it got to go over, it's got to go over and up. So the hole is basically in the wrong spot. That's a big deal. We cut it out with the hole so I can put the same piece back there if I needed to. But anyway, so we're going to move it over. And I know by putting this in here, like the exhaust comes out here and some stuff. But as we know, when I've done with Holly's truck, I made the exhaust manifolds for that. I made the exhaust manifolds for Firebird. So this is probably going to be the same thing with this. So I just checked. I had some 2.5 inch pipe, which is what I used on Holly's, and I had these 1.5 inch well elbows, and it seems I should have just enough room for them. So as for now, we're going to get the brake pedal taken out there. Excuse me, the brake pedal taken out, and we're going to move the steering column actually over and up of it, so it's more in line with the shaft, and we'll take care of the hole after we get this done. Okay, so see if we can get our moved over, and just like that, we have 2 holes, but we got the steering column where he wants it. So anyway, time to fix the holes. And just like that, we have one hole there again. And it's in the right spot. So next we'll put the column back in. And then we gonna figure, last time it was in, we had the brake pedal was coming down on the right side. So between moving stuff around and changing the column, the brake pedal is now going to be going down on the left side. After seeing the one we had in the Nova there a while ago, is actually a big arc comes down like this. So we're going to bend it out and make sure it goes around the column, and that way we put it back in, we'll have room on the right side. We may or may not be able to use the ignition switch that was on it. But anyway, it's in there straight and it's in where I gotta go. Obviously, I don't have a intruder now, but obviously I'm going to have to make the exhaust manifold again. Like I said before, no big deal. Alright, get the column in there and we'll work from there. Okay, so the column is back in the hole. And we have there, still don't know how far I'm going to push this down or pull it out. But the thing is now, is we're just trying to get the brake pedal bent around the side of the column. So that's the next step. Okay, so we've been at it, and we got the steering column in the same spot we had last time. As you can see, the rod is obviously right there. So what we end up doing, we end up taking this, and we took the welding, round the welding off. I'll lay it down over here anyway. Took the welding off, pushed it to one side. So now the brake pedal, when it goes up in the bracket, is actually sitting this way. So now this runs down on the side of the column. The column's in this area. So the only thing now with that slit over there is the pin don't line up the rod. The rod is over here. So what we had planned to do, I'll just give you a quick look, show you where it's at there. But we put this up here, like so. You can see that the rod is over there. See it? The rod is around right there. Now it's pretty well, not too far out of line, but I didn't want to add too much strain onto it. So what I was planning on doing was I was going to cut this off, and what we made this here. So what we are going to do, we're going to slide that down over there. You see she's lined with that. She's lined with that. So what we end up doing, we're going to put this up here, and after we take this out here, we put a longer pin, so it'll go through this, through the rod, and through there. That way it's and when we put that in, gets that at the right height, we'll weld a little support piece in here and up under here. So that'll give us lots of strength. So if I had to put a longer stud here, it'll be out here, and it'll be pushing on the rod, and we need at some point to put brake. But if we're having two pieces onto it, sandwich in between it, should be fine. Anyway, so that's what we'll do next. We'll see if we can get this out and get this fixed. Okay, so that's how we got it now. I got this spacer put in here just so I can square it up to weld it. And we're going to weld her in here and probably a little around the edge. So when the rod comes in here, it'll be supported by, like I said, I'll put another piece in here anyway after. But it'll be lots of support for it. So when she's pushing onto it, it won't be just flimsy, and it won't able the piece to crack. I mean, it's a half-inch, you know, that's a grade 5 half-inch bolt. I can actually upgrade it to a grade 8, but I mean, like, that pedal is never going to see that amount of strain onto it anyway. Especially even though, I mean, it's a power brake application, so I mean, there's very little pedal effort there anyway. But anyway, we'll weld this up, and we'll build something in here now, and then should be good to go. So let's have a look what we got done now. So it's not completely fully welded on the brace in between it, but so it'll pivot on this one. This will support it. The rod will go on this one. So now you got is welded here, welded here, welded here, welded here. It's going through here, so it'll pick up the rod in the middle. Now, if I got to, I could probably put a spacer or a couple of washers on one side or the other to take up some slack in the rod so it don't slide back and forth. But that's so, and when it comes over here, we'll put this through. We'll put a lock nut on the end of this here, one of the Teflon lock nut, and then I'll put a cotter pin, drill a hole and put a cotter pin down through the nut. So it's no chance of it ever backing out. So the next thing to do now is to install this in there. Just check, make sure everything's alright, and then we'll finish doing welding and fit this in there then, and we'll get it put in the truck. So that's next. Next day, run away to the garage. Yeah, look, there's a little bit of snow there. A little bit where it piling up against the fence. Yeah, all gone again. Yep. So she had one run on the sled. There's almost more snow still on the track than it is out by the door. Anyway, so back at the truck. Okay, so we're back in at the truck. Have a good look. So, as you can see, we got the other piece down here. Spacer here, rod there, spacer there, and we welded a piece of steel in between it. And all it is there now is she's hooked up, and there's your brake pedal. So as you can see, we sort of come down here, bent her over here, bent her back here, so she'll go around the steering column. And as everything, I haven't got everything there tightened up yet. I'm trying to get the steering column in there now. Then we'll straighten up this piece here, and we'll once we got her in, what we have to do, we have to see how far the steering column is to the seat, you know, like away from the dash, how high it is and all this stuff, right? So we don't have to seat her just yet, but and that's the other thing with the brake pedal down there. We may have to obviously, with the gas pedal is all the way over here, the brake pedal, once the floor goes in, I may have to lift it up here and weld it down here, or even put this piece in the middle so it goes over that way a little bit. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. So let's put the steering column in it now and see does it actually clear the side of it. Okay, so column is in, which is some of the reason why I wanted to get the van one, because as you can see up there, well, you can see the steering column rod and saw it right there. So that's the one that actually moves the switch. So I don't think we're going to have room to run the actual ignition switch, because I don't know if I can. Maybe I'll move it up there after. I'll have a better look at it after when I log it. But as for now, what we're looking for basically is a single way switch and the wires, the steering column onto it. And again, this is up all the way jammed up and that now. I was just trying to hold it up there. So we got this up here. Don't know if we got to go down further or up further, for sure. It's out through here. Sometimes we tips this up to there, makes the other steering shaft. So again, we're not until we get to see it, we don't know if that got to move back or ahead. So it's not going to be a problem. The steering wheel I can lay on it. Sort of. So when I put the seat in, I think you got to go down for sure. We'll slack it and push her down. See how it looks like. I think it's too far from the dash here. and just sitting down. Tommy gets to see, then we'll have to look. But anyway, what we came to check was this piece over here. So you can see she's just outside, and there's the steering, there's your adjustment, right? Again, nothing's tight in here, so, but oops, looks like it's going clear anyway. Like I said, this got to be all tightened up, final adjustment obviously, but I think it'll work. Should work good actually. Like I said, the brake pedal, once the funds are for the floor, might center it over here a little bit, depending on where the gas pedal's put to. But anyway, it's a little more done with it. So anyway, yeah. So there's my old Firebird seat, and the Firebird steering column, and probably the steering wheel. Come think of it. So I was sitting into it and trying to see what, as I said before, you almost need low backs. Just re-up the window, and by the time I put two of them there, it won't look right. So the bench seat will be much better. I'll have to see if we can find something like that. But it'd be nice to get the seat that we're going to use to put into it before he welds all this in, mix it all done. So we'll have a steering column steer. But other than that, well, the only thing that this is going to change is how far in or out that the column is going to be, and the length of the steering shaft. That's the only thing that's going to change anyway. Other than that, yeah, we have to see if we can come up with a seat for it. Although it doesn't matter, like the floors are the floors. This is working pretty good right now. So maybe we'll shoot the floors in, see how that goes. So anyway, I figured I'll show this anyway. But we're out of the way of it. That's the steering column there. Sorry, the steering shaft there out of that square body. So we took some parts off. But you look at it, it's the same. This end here is the same as what goes on here, which is good. And the rag joint down there is probably going to be the same as what that is. So the other one we just unbolted it, bolted here and here. And anyway, that one there may looks like it might have been pressed in or whatever, but I'm sure we can just bolt on the same as everything else. So, or the joint after the steering box, because that most likely be the same. But we lay it in there just for curiosity. And almost it's pretty well the same length. Now in the meantime, this piece here plunges in and out, back and that. And these here, I'm pretty sure we clean these up. This slides into there as well. It did on my Firebird anyway. But I may be able to use this, which is good. So that's it for tonight. We got steering mostly in. We still got to make the brackets up under the dash and some stuff, but it's in place where we want to. It's just as like anything else, we gotta finish some stuff before we move on to some stuff. I'd like to get the steering column where it feels nice to actually sit in and drive it. So that maybe push it down or pull it up, but wouldn't be too much difference. So anyway, again, this is Weekend at Bernie's YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, it's a comment, like, subscribe, share. We're still going to continue the build of the truck, and hopefully it gets done not too much longer. We're at it all the time, so it shouldn't be too long to get the thing actually moving anyway. Until next time, we'll see you then.